Alright guys, welcome back to the next episode in this series where we're looking at the best budget skins you can buy right now in CS2, and this time it's going to be the Humble Glock. Now I'm calling it the Humble Glock because there's just truly so many budget friendly options for this that it is insane. I had a look through and I probably could have included about 20 different skins. I've ripped out a few of those and we're finished with 14, which means we're going to spend a little bit less time on each skin just so we can get through them all in a timely manner. But we'll go through the usual format, we'll show pricing, show it in game, and I'll explain why I think it's a good pick. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, you're around here, and we'll go right into it. Make sure you let me know in the comments down below which one was your favourite and which weapon skins you want to see featured next. Now, we're talking about it being humble with some budget gems, and we're going to start it off with possibly the best option, which is going to be a minimal wear winterized. Now, this skin, believe it or not, is the cheapest Glock you can buy in the game. Oh, you can buy cheaper than Battle Scar, but basically, when you look at the average pricing, this is the cheapest skin in the game. And you compare this to other weapons, it seems crazy because there's actually a decent design on it. This one you're looking at right now is 13 pence, which is absolutely insane. To get a skin that's got detail and a bit of camouflage, a nice sort of grip texture on it, it seems crazy to me that it's this cheap. And just to showcase the pricing for you, 13 pence min wear, 42 pence like factory new if you're desperate to have factory new. To get something that's actually got pattern, a bit of life to it, this is super budget friendly. The next one's going to be the Oxide Blaze. Now this one is very much personal taste, but I'll have a look at a minimal wear version in game. I think this is one if you're after something a bit different. Obviously it's the Oxide Blaze, making it this kind of like, I'm going to call it brownie color, and then you get this white sort of blaze tip at the end, and a little crosshair in the middle. This is the thing, if you want the white element on the skin, 100% go for this. Outside of that, it's just another good budget version. I prefer the likes of the Winterized though. Next, we're going to have the Off-World, but rather than going factory new, you're going to go Battle Scar, and that means you get this Easter egg here of the skull and the extra crosses and markings coming through, and it's cheaper than having to buy a factory new with these extra bonuses. For comparison's sake, you can buy the Battle Scar version for 10 pins right now. So if you're after a boy inventory, either the Winterized or the Off-World, both work really well. 13 pins or 10 pins, take your pick. Now, the Sacrifice for me is by no means a fantastically designed skin, but I love the thing behind it, which is a custom paint job paying homage to all of Meister's Burn and Diffuse and Overpass at ESL 1 Cologne 2014. If you're into esports and love that side of Counter-Strike, I think this is one that you can get, and you're sort of paying homage to the element of the game that you adore, you love, one of the most historic moments in the game's history, and CSGO's now come to a close. So I think this now, obviously it was CS20 marked 20 years of Counter-Strike, CSGO's now over. I think for the money you're paying to get something that means something to you if you're an esports player or fan, I think it's a good shout. And now we're going to have the Warhawk, which has been given a bit of an upgrade. It actually has a little bit of lighting effect now, especially in min wear, which I'm a big fan of. Now, this is by no means a stellar skin. It's kind of interesting with the teeth markings. It's kind of green on the top, but I think this is something you put an RMR craft on. Now, I know it's 100 Thieves stickers, and some people don't like that. I think if you get a really cheap RMR craft for max of $1, get some holos in, get a team you like, run something like this. This is minwear 0.134. I think that's where you can get yourself something kind of unique. And the minimal wear version is 25 pence, so it truly is a bargain. High beams were crazy invested into by people, but I think there's such high supply already. 27 pence, factory new. And this is pattern based, so you can go and get one that looks slightly different. The one we have has a lot of the beam rings on it. There's some that only maybe have like 2 rings at the end. So you can go get one that's a nice pattern that fits you. You can see it gets a shine on it. Again, a skin that you're paying like less than £0.50 for. Like, it's a nice option to have. Now, we've already had one flame with the Blaze. The next one's going to be the Bunsen Burner. This was I'm going to say it seems to be a player favorite for like a budget Glock to go to. This with the Moonrise. This looks even better in CS2 because it looks like a Twilight Galaxy, which is a £200 skin with the lighting effect and the sort of glitter element that's on the finish. But a minimal wear version will cost you just 53 pence. So again, cracking budget option. And then we just mentioned the Moonrise, bit more expensive, 95 pence for minimal wear. This purple with a bit of shine surely is going to look good. And it does. This is one that if you're wanting to build a purple inventory, being able to pick this up for less than £1 is kind of a no-brainer. You get a wonderful purple skin. I prefer to have design on the bottom half of the skin as well, but your gloves will cover that majority of the time, so it's not really the end of the world. Purple theme for less than £1, you gotta love it. Now, I know this one is a little bit 50-50, bit of a coin flip, but I really liked Umbo Rabbit. I think it's a nice design, and I know that's truly 50-50, so you guys can disagree with me for that if you want, but I think the fact that you pay less than £2 for this to get something that has this much design detail that looks good is just really nice value for money. And a minimal wear version, which is what I'd recommend, is £1.60. So a bit more expensive, but still very much in this great budget range. And you're starting to see what I mean by budget-friendly Glocks. They are insane. One that I love in CS2, and I'd probably go factory new if you can, minimal wear if you don't want to spend that much. I know it's a difference of 60 pence, but it can't matter. There's been a couple updates back and forward that were impacting this, making it look worse and making it look better again. I think it's now had its final update, which means this minimal wear version, which is a 0.08 float, so a very good minimal wear version, it looks pristine. The red finish is almost like a hot rod level finish. That's what I've been detailing as. If you have a red inventory, or even if you don't have a themed inventory, and you just want a nice, vibrant Glock, this is probably going to be the one I suggest over and over again, because this, again, allows some really nice either glitter crafts or specifically red hollows. Now, this one's thrown in as a bit of a bonus. The Royal Legion is not my cup of tea, which means I don't personally like it that much, but I know it offers something a bit different that you don't really get in the game across the board for Glocks, with this sort of color mix of the base actually being, like, this looks like a realistic Glock could, with engravings on the top and then like this sort of grip at the bottom. I don't think it's overall worth the money, but if you want something a little bit different, then maybe this fits into your theme. And you can see we're talking £2.70 for minimal wear, so this is why I'd probably prefer to go with basically any of the other ones we've just showcased, but it fits a certain theme. Now, in the USPs, we discovered that souvenirs were very nice options. And I'm going to have this again with a field-tested souvenir pink DD pat. Now, these are pattern-based. The cheapest one that comes up now is a Blast Paris Major between Gamer Legion and Navi. And this one's one that actually has a decent amount of pink on it. What I would say for this is you probably want the Blast, you want the event logo, unless it's a prestigious event that you want. You want the event logo to be on the base of the skin. You want the team logos to be the first and second placement, like on the barrel, like the closest to the end of the barrel. And then the map probably here, or maybe you want to change the name of the event, or the event logo with the map on like this right hand side, but basically middle of the barrel and end of the barrel you want to have the team logos. I think this, because obviously you can scrape it too, the pink looks super nice on it for paying like just under £4. The wear is there, you can see it, it's evident this is a 0.37 float, so it's a high field tested float. But if you can get some gold stickers that you like on this, for example, there's this one for 4.37. Now this person has removed the Gambit logo from it, which I think is a little bit unfortunate. But the Gambit logo would have been on the base, and you can see here, Navi, PGL Stockholm, and Mirage. Navi went on to win the event, so I think this is the sort of combination you want to go try and get. Now, almost doubling the price, we have a Water Elemental. This is a skin that I wanted for so long. And then I got it, and it didn't really fit the vibe and theme I was going for. But I think it offers a really unique finish of this red with a big accent of blue on it. I would say you need to get it minimal wear, though. This is 0.09 float, and you can kind of see where key bits of wear are going to start happening. And in field test, it does get battered a little bit. But if you want to spend a little bit more on your Glock, I think min wear at £7.51 for this is reasonable. The flip side is, all these other skins we showcased, like, let's go back to the Moonrise, for example, since it's so popular. Rather than paying £8 for a minimal wear Water Elemental, if you really like the Moonrise and you're a fan of StatTrak, you just get a StatTrak Moonrise for £2.45. So that's where you kind of have to weigh up if you want to pay more for the skin itself, or find a nice budget skin and then maybe upgrade the min wear, or only go for the pure budget skin. That's where the personal preference comes in. And then the final skin to showcase is going to be a field-tested Bullet Queen. Again, a 50-50 option, because there is a anime character on it, basically, and I know some people really dislike that. For me, I think if you put an orange sticker on the end of the barrel and then play in on the orange theme, it could be good. However, for the price you're paying, kind of similar to the Water Elemental, I think you're better off looking at one of these more budget-friendly options, like a Warhawk, like a Moonrise, something like that, or a Winterize. I think that's where, for me personally, you're better off spending the money that way. There is personal preference at the end, and I wanted to show a couple of the more expensive Glock options that still were deemed budget-friendly. And with that, that's all 14 Glock skins. I think there's some tremendous options in here. For me, like, if you look at my inventory for Glocks, I have Warhawk, Winterized, and Umbro Rabbit. Those are my 3 favorite budget Glocks. I do like a Moonrise too. I have a StatTrak Umbro Rabbit, which I think looks super clean and 0.08 min wear float. I think you can agree this suits StatTrak and looks clean. Obviously, the 100 Thieves stickers, which I know a lot of people don't like, but I put this on a Warhawk when these were uber cheap. And the Glock itself was cheap, so this was like an under £1 craft, I think, at the time. And then also the Winterize, I've just thrown some random stickers I've opened on this, but I think this has potential as well. So those are my 3 favorite that I've showcased. Obviously, there's another 11 in there, so let me know what your favorite was. Thank you again for all the support. You guys have been crushing it. Make sure you hit that like button if you enjoyed this one. Hit the subscribe button if you're new around here, and we'll catch you in the next one, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.